Get down, America. It's time for another election. Yes, that's right. It's election day, and I'm here to talk about a very contentious election that divided the nation. That's right. It's the election of 1888, immortalized in Walt Disney's The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band, released in 1968. Now here we have the original cast soundtrack featuring those sensational songs by the Sherman Brothers. If you'd like to learn more about this movie musical, please read the article I wrote for D23.com. Of course, this was a real election, but today I'm here to talk about some fictional candidates over the years and some memorabilia issued in association with their campaign. There have been a number of fun and unexpected candidates over the years, including one of the most unusual that was about a character who Disney actually sued over, and today Disney owns. Do you know who this character could be? Stay tuned and I'll tell you at the end of the video. There have been many fictional characters that have run for these fun campaigns, just designed to entertain us and maybe distract us from the real thing. For example, Gracie Allen of the Burns and Allen radio show. She ran for president in 1940 and made that already very popular radio show even more popular. Wonder Woman also ran for president, as did Pogo of the Pogo comic strip. You can see the I Go Pogo button here on the cover of the Okefenokee Star, which is the Pogo magazine that was published in the late 70s, early 80s, and published all kinds of vintage art and publicity art. Here's a good look at it. This is from 1956 because Pogo's first campaign was in 1952 against Dwight D. Eisenhower, and that's where I Go Pogo came from. It's a takeoff on Ike's slogan, I like Ike. And then Pogo ran again in 1956, again against Ike. This idea was so popular that I believe there were some Pogo campaigns in other presidential election years as well. It's all started in 1952, and it really appealed to college students who were big fans of the Pogo comic strip because of its sharp wit and sophisticated humor and its satire. And in fact, 150 colleges endorsed Pogo as their choice for candidate. Now, it's probably needless to say that Pogo did not win the White House in 1952 or 1956, and the results are seen on this great piece of art, this fan card that Walt Kelly drew up, and it says, Pogo sweeps elections. There have been many others over the years, including Archie, and even Archie Bunker, and I'll make no comment about that one. Certainly one of the most fun of these campaigns was Huckleberry Hound. He ran in 1960, and there was even a Huckleberry Hound for President comic book. At the end of that comic book, Yogi Bear decided that he would run for president, and sure enough, 4 years later, there was a campaign for Yogi Bear for president. But Yogi did not run unopposed. His opponent was another Hanna-Barbera character, Magilla Gorilla. And we have here this wonderful giant-sized coloring book, which is Yogi versus Magilla for president. And some really fun art. Tells a little story of their campaign. Magilla giving out free bananas. A strong candidate. I'm not sure what the person who was coloring this thought or not, but here's their opinion expressed in crayon. And here we have from Yogi's headquarters, Huck as a knight, nobody outsmarts Yogi, a reference to him being smarter than the average bear. And here's Boo Boo, I'm going places with Yogi Bear, air coverage. On the back, we even have these campaign buttons. Cut out these campaign buttons and wear them. Perhaps one of the most unexpected candidates was Winnie the Pooh, and he ran in 1968 in a whole campaign designed to help promote Walt Disney's Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, which was being released in late 1968. There was all kinds of campaign paraphernalia, including buttons and posters, even drinking glasses. There was a campaign song, which was released on a single record and available through Sears, which had the Winnie the Pooh license, so naturally was behind Winnie the Pooh as a candidate. They wanted to see him win. I've written about the Winnie the Pooh campaigns several times. As I said, they started in 1968, but continued on for several presidential election cycles after that. So here is a printout, anyhow, of the article I wrote for Disney Train magazine, which was published in Japan. So we can see some wonderful art here. This is a poster designed to tie in with a contest, a sweepstakes, and the grand prize was a trip to Walt Disney World. Here is some of the paraphernalia I was telling you about, buttons and even a bumper sticker. Wonderful photo of the parade at Disneyland. This was a ticket for an event called a fundraiser, and the slogan was "Pooh for You in 72, Disneyland's favorite son." And of course we have Walt Disney here with the Winnie the Pooh character you would meet at Disneyland. So lots of fun stuff there. And here I have this wonderful press release, which has at the top this great logo, Winnie the Pooh and a Whistle Stop Tour, along with Tigger and Eeyore, Win with Winnie, Pooh for President. It kind of says it all. And I think there are some campaign promises in here. This was for Winnie the Pooh hitting the campaign trail as the children's party candidate. And some of his promises for the 72 campaign were a puppy for everybody, free candy on holidays, more swings at playgrounds, and he was going to battle to lick the high prices of ice cream cones. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that 1972 campaign in the article I wrote for Disney Train. Perhaps the most elaborate of the Pooh for President celebrations was held in 1972. At a convention held at Walt Disney World Resort, September 30th through October 1st, Pooh was nominated to run for president on the Children's Party ticket. Drawings held at Sears stores across the U.S. selected young delegates from each of the 50 states to be sent with their families to Magic Kingdom Park. There, they nominated Pooh for president at Cinderella Castle. 2 days after the Walt Disney World event, from his West Coast retreat at Disneyland Park, the hunting-loving nominee with his campaign staff consisting of Press Secretary Tigger and political advisor Eeyore announced his platform and campaign strategy. Pooh declared that he would soon depart on a great American campaign tradition, a whistle-stop train tour down the California coast, starting in Oakland on October 21st. San Diego was the final stop before Pooh's train reached its ultimate destination, Anaheim, home to Disneyland Park for a huge 3-day rally where Pooh officially opened his national campaign headquarters. As no surprise to anybody given his popularity, Snoopy ran for president starting in 1968, but for several campaigns after that. And there were certainly some fun merchandise and paraphernalia issued over the years. Some of it, for example, from Interstate Brands, which had the Peanuts license for Dolly Madison, of course, but also Millbrook Bread, which is also known as Weber Bread, and I think some other brand names too in different parts of the country. But perhaps the most famous memorabilia was issued by, no surprise, Hallmark, because they are a long-standing and really clever and creative licensee for Peanuts. So in 1972, I believe, among other things, they had the Snoopy for President napkins. There were 4 designs and 32 napkins in this box, including Snoopy for President, a distinguished combat hero, because he's a World War I flying ace, of course. And then on the back, we see the other designs. Lucy for First Lady, the Krabby Man's choice. For a secure administration, let's elect Linus. And then experienced, competent, win with Charlie Brown. I love Charlie Brown's expression. I'm sure that was very carefully chosen. And if we open up the box, sure enough, we see these wonderful napkins. They are all in pristine condition. Here's all the Snoopies. Here's some Charlie Brown. Here is Lucy. And it's very odd, there doesn't seem to be any Linus napkins in here, even though the box promises them, and it seems to be full, so I don't know what happened there. But at any rate, we can see the Linus one here, luckily on the back. And there were also bumper stickers. That's right, Hallmark issued election bumper stickers for Charlie Brown and Snoopy and the others. So you could choose your favorite character, I guess. And here we have Win with Charlie Brown. Great drawing to go along with that. And we also have Let's Elect Linus. So these are great fun. And I don't know, a little bit unexpected. Would we expect Hallmark to be issuing bumper stickers? But they did, and we're awfully glad about that too. Now you'll remember at the beginning of the video, I mentioned a very unexpected and unusual candidate, and that character is Howard the Duck. It seems like most people know about Howard the Duck, even if they haven't ever read any of his comic books or know who he is or what the story is behind him, because I think he was the star of what is considered one of the worst movies ever made. Now, as you can see, Howard is a Marvel Comics character. He was introduced in 1973 as part of the Swamp Thing universe, and Howard was created by Steve Gerber and Val Mayerik. Here are some of his covers from his very own comic book that he got in 1976, and it's really a classic series of comic books. You have some wonderful covers here. And that very same year, Marvel decided to run Howard for president. So his slogan was, "Get Down America." So Marvel issued this special Marvel Treasury edition, this giant-sized comic, which was issued in 1976, and it tied in with Howard's campaign for the presidency. So here we have Howard launching himself right toward the camera with some other Marvel superheroes. And on the back, we see the back view of that. And where are they going, of course? To Howard's campaign headquarters. So this was really a cool look at the whole Howard the Duck story and tying in with his campaign. Here we have some campaign photos. For one thing, there was a preview of Howard the Duck number 8, which was about his campaign. And this was a preliminary layout for the cover. And this is kind of cool for me because I don't have issue number 8. But here we have Howard for Prez. Here we have Carter Yells Foul. Carter meaning Jimmy Carter, who of course won the election. And we see that it's published on the front page of the Daily Bugle, which is of course where Spider-Man works, or I should say Peter Parker. So that's very cool. He's definitely part of the Marvel universe. But to get back to Howard's campaign for the presidency, there's some really fun stuff, including an interview with Howard by Steve Gerber, who was the genius really behind Howard the Duck. He was a writer. And this fun thing here, unsolicited testimonials, a glittering gallery of Marvel superstars explain in their own words why Howard the Duck gets their votes in 1976. The Incredible Hulk says, "Hulk likes little Duck. Duck is Hulk's friend. Vote for Duck, or Hulk will smash your face." That is quite a strong testimonial. We even have Stan Lee, who says, "I graciously bowed out of the presidential race this year. So besides Howard, who's left, true believer?" So you'll recall that I said that Disney threatened a lawsuit against Marvel because of Howard, because they felt that he was just a little too close to Donald Duck. So rather than deal with that lawsuit, Marvel agreed to have a Disney artist redesign Howard so he didn't look so much like Donald. So his face was changed, his beak was changed, and most significantly, he started wearing pants. And if you ask me, that really ruined his design. It just doesn't look right at all. But there you have it. These are the type of things that happen. So yes, Disney owns Howard the Duck, and he's even made some cameos, such as in Guardians of the Galaxy. We'll just have to see what the future holds for Howard now that Disney does own him. And who knows, Howard might even run for president again. So thank you for joining me for this brief look at some of the fictional characters that have run for president over the years. And please be with me next time when our guests will be Barney Rubble and Ed Norton, who will be here to discuss the Loyal Order of the Water Buffalo and the Loyal Order of the Raccoons. Is there a difference? See you then.